Kyle Busch has opened it up to 1.9 seconds over Carl Edwards. As you watch from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear for track tested technology. Get there on Goodyear Innovation.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to be at the shop Monday when they tear that thing down. That car, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see how they had it fixed so that that nothing would fall off of it as many times as he hit the wall with it tonight.
Well, the problem has been trying to slow Kyle Busch down. Listen to what Jeff Dickerson, his spotter, told him a few laps ago.
I know you're digging, dude, but we got to take care of that thing over there. You're scaring the fans. There's not enough security at the turn 2 wall here. Just nice and easy.
If logic doesn't work, try humor.
That's right.
Right now, he has built his lead to over 2 seconds over Carl Edwards in the 99 car with 38 laps to go.
Driving a car that he earlier described as the most pathetic thing he's driven in his entire life.
Yeah, I think I'd have called him back and said, hey, dude, I've already tried to destroy this thing. There ain't no way.
And you know, we had been following the free pass position. Tony Stewart in the 20 car battling Brian Vickers in the 83 just a few laps ago. Tony put himself in position now. He is the first car a lap down back in 22nd. Obviously, he wants a caution. The question is, how many other cars need a caution because maybe they don't have enough fuel to make it to the end?
Well, I'll tell you what, Larry, that first time in, they got the tow a little bit better than it was when he wrecked. And then that second time in, they got it right, and he's been fast ever since.
Clint Boyer, last week's winner, caught the wall again.
He was running 15th right before he hit the wall. He just got passed by Scott Riggs and Kurt Busch.
What a difference a year makes for Toyota. Since joining Joe Gibbs Racing, look at the laps they have led this year. 381 of those were Hamlin's last week, compared to all of 2007. 167 laps led.
And you know, I think we've got to give a call to the Toyota teams that went through the building last year of that manufacturer. Certainly, as our boss David Hill says, a rising tide lifts all ships. Certainly, you look tonight at Dave Blaney, Bill Davis Racing, who actually helped Toyota get their start in NASCAR about 5 years ago. Dave Blaney sitting there running 5th, and we've got David Ruderman of Michael Waltrip Racing sitting there running 19th right now.
Yeah, I tell you, the Gibbs guys just added that one little ingredient that they lacked. I don't know if it was organization. I don't know what it was, engine program, chassis. I'm not sure what they added to what was already there, but it made a huge difference.
There's where they're running with Hamlin in 9th, and what a great job Stewart has done. Hamlin about to be 8th as he passes Jimmy Johnson. What a great job Tony Stewart has done after getting crashed on the 3rd lap. He has fought his way back on to the lead lap. That's the way you win championships.
You know, there was so much question, I think, from the fans, especially the Joe Gibbs fans, the Tony Stewart fans, the Denny Hamlin fans. Why would Joe Gibbs Racing leave General Motors that they had won 3 championships with in all those races? Because Joe Gibbs and J.D. Gibbs, they knew no matter how many races, how many championships they won, they would always be the 3rd or 4th spoke in the wheel behind Hendrick, Childress, and possibly DEI at General Motors. I said along, even money-wise, if it was a lateral move, this was a great move just simply by being the biggest fish in the pond with Toyota.
Stewart just passed the 2nd place car, Edwards, and let me correct, he is not back on the lead lap, but he would be if a caution comes out, or if he passes his teammate Kyle Busch on the racetrack.
But either way, he needs a caution to get back in contention.
But either way, he's done a great job. What happened to the 1 car, guys?
Well, he hit the wall and was passed by Jamie McMurray and by the 28 of Travis Kvapil, and he goes back after Kvapil.
And you know, Jamie McMurray is another one of those cars, the 26 car, that has just kept his nose clean and his side clean, and now he's worked his way into the top 10.
Here's what happened to Truex to take a few more of the decals off the side of his number 1. And McMurray goes by as Truex rights himself.
I wish I'd have been smart enough back in the day to put foam in my right side door. Dadgum, that would have been.
30 laps to go. Kyle Busch leading Carl Edwards and Jeff Gordon, and will we need one more pit stop? That's the question.
Kyle Busch right now 3 1/4 seconds in front of Carl Edwards. We've been talking a lot about the Roush Fenway woes with lug nuts. David Reagan in the 6th car, he actually just passed Dave Blaney a lap ago, and that moved David back into the top 5. This kid just keeps getting better and better and better. This would be my wild card next week in the All-Star Showdown to win the race and transfer to the All-Star race.
Well, we've talked about how young drivers often don't get much of a chance to perform at the top level of NASCAR. It's either you have it and you're quick out of the box right away like that guy, Denny Hamlin, or you don't. Jack Roush gave David Reagan enough time to mature as a driver at this level, and he's being rewarded. Reagan has really come into his own.
Darrell, like we've said, we like that old crew chief he's put in with, Jimmy Finney.
Smart guy.
This one's starting to look like a sequel. More NASCAR on Fox to come.
Here's what's coming up tonight on Fox. We have 24 laps to go at Darlington, South Carolina. On the Fox ticker, you see Kyle Busch leading Carl Edwards by 2.8 seconds. Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr. close together, and then the Fords of Reagan and Kenseth, the Toyotas of Blaney and Hamlin, the Chevy of Jimmy Johnson, and the Ford of Jamie McMurray and Travis Kvapil. The big question is, can the leaders make it on fuel? Let's start with Krista.
The 18 says they can make it. Kyle Busch says he's good to go.
And I think that's good news for everyone, because as I've looked back through the history of the green flag runs we've had tonight that led to green flag stops, it seemed like the Toyotas were, as a whole, as well as the Dodges, which we really don't have a Dodge a factor right now, were the first ones to hit pit road. It looked like possibly the Chevrolets and the Fords were running a little bit further than the Toyotas.
Steve, what about Carl Edwards?
Mike, good news, bad news for Carl Edwards. The good news is he can make it. The bad news is he's a little bit tight. Matt Yoakum.
Now, as far as the Chevrolet goes, from the Hendrick camp, the 24 of Gordon and the 88 of Dale Jr. both can make it on fuel. No concern there. The bigger issue is just the handling. Gordon's gone big time to the tight side. Meanwhile, Jr., he's fighting a car that's taking a big swing from tight to loose, Steve.
And Matt, just an update on David Reagan there in the 6th car. He, too, can make it to the end.
Well, but it sounds like that right now the handling is really starting to go away on all these cars. We've got a lot of rubber down on the track. The track is really cooled down, and I think that's got a lot of these front ends not working, and the cars are just not turning.
Not counting the fact that the guys are getting a little bit tired, because this is a long, hard race without a lot of cautions. Really been up on the wheel tonight.
Matt Kenseth 6, Dave Blaney 7. In contention all night. Dick?
Blaney's lost a couple of spots, Mike, because the car has gone tight since the last pit stop. Virtually every 10 or 12 laps, crew chief Tommy Baldwin has told Blaney to save fuel. It will be very close as to whether he can make it or not.
And that's one of the Toyotas that I was talking about.
Look at Tony Stewart. He is flying. He might be the fastest car on the racetrack, and he may get his lap back on his own the hard way.
Oh, by all means, he's the fastest cat out there. He has chased Kyle Busch down from a mile back, and he's closing up here. He can get back on the lead lap all by himself. Incredible that they've able to fix that car and get it up there and competitive as it is.
Yeah, considering he's working on cracking the top 20, what it looked like on lap 3, laid up against the wall, turn 1.
I thought it was going to be a bad, points night for him. He'd be in the garage, but they've worked on it and fixed it.
Darrell, how hard to retain your focus when you get knocked out of contention on lap 3 at a place as demanding as this?
Well, the good thing is, you got all night to work on it. You got all night to maybe get back in there somehow if you can. So that's the good news. You don't want it to happen at the end of the night.
I believe the car that the handling has went away the most here in the closing stages of this race, Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car, he continues to lose positions. That's a battle with Jamie McMurray in the 26 for 10th, and you see Jeff Burton in the 31 right there behind him as well, as we'll be coming to 16 laps to go next time.
Yeah, that 48 car just had a rough week. They qualified 3rd. That's pretty good. About the only good thing that's happened to them since they've been down here.
Yeah, wrecked twice yesterday. Had to go to a backup car.